Hari Om. A very pleasant morning to all respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, faculty members, and dear friends. It is a moment of a great honor and joy to welcome you all to the Leadership Conclave 26. Today, we come together to explore the essence of leadership not merely as a role but as a powerful force that inspires, influences, and transforms lives. As beautifully said, a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. With this thought, let us begin today's enriching journey. To mark the auspicious commencement of the conclave, we now move to the traditional lighting of lamp, symbolizing wisdom, positivity, and enlightenment. I respectfully invite our esteemed dignitaries, Mr. AVMK Shanmugam, Mr. T.S. Tirumurti, and Dr. N. Bhuma, along with our special guest, to kindly come forward for the ceremony. For celebrating this occasion, let us invoke the divine blessings for the success of this meeting. I now request our choir girls to render the prayer song followed by Tamil Taiwan.
எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி மனதில் சலனம் இல்லாமல் மதியில் இருளே தோன்றாமல் மனதில் சலனம் இல்லாமல் மதியில் இருளே தோன்றாமல் நினைக்கும் பொழுது நின் மௌன நிலை வந்திட நின் செயல் வேண்டும் கணக்கும் செல்வம் 100 வயது இவையும் தர நீ கடவாயே எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி
Thank you, girls, for soulful beginning. To open this significant occasion with grace and vision, we are honored to have our respected principal, Dr. N. Bhuma, a true pillar of our excellence, integrity, and inspiring leadership, whose commitment to quality education and holistic development continues to guide us forward. I now invite her to present the welcome address for Leadership Conclave 26.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. When young minds have the courage to take responsibility and the vision to guide their energy, true leaders are born. A very pleasant, remarkable leaders and achievers who have carved excellence in diverse fields. Their journeys remains as that leadership is not a destination, but a continuous process of learning, resilience, and transformation. We are deeply honored to have with us Mr. T.S. Tirumurti, former Ambassador of India to the United Nations, New York, and Professor Emeritus at Avichi College of Arts and Science. His remarkable journey in global diplomacy and leadership continues to inspire us with vision, clarity, and purpose. He strongly believes that students should take the lead in organizing this leadership conclave, coordinating guests, and shaping the overall flow of the event. He has guided us at every step with great dedication. I learned from Mr. Tirumurti that inclusivity is not just a value in words, but in action, reflected through his insistence on a deliberate balance of men and women among the guests and students. Being mentored by a distinguished diplomat like him is truly a rare and enriching opportunity, especially for me and for all of us. We welcome you, sir. I sincerely thank our Secretary, sir, for bringing us into acquaintance with such stalwarts. I extend We are truly privileged and proud to welcome Mr. Gopal Mahadevan, Director, Strategic Finance, Mergers and Acquisition at Ashok Leyland, whose gracious presence reflects the importance he places on our institution. Despite an exceptionally demanding schedule personally and officially, his decision to be with us again today is a powerful testament to his commitment to nurturing young minds, especially Avichi College of Arts and Science, making his presence not just an honor, but an inspiration in shaping us. We welcome you, sir. We are delighted to have with us Dr. Lalitha Balakrishnan, Senior Consultant at IIT Madras and former Principal, MOP Vaishnav College for Women. An accomplished institution builder and policy contributor, she has played a significant role in shaping education leadership and continues to do so with the same passion and commitment. She bridged classroom learning with real-world success through strong foundational concepts and has excelled in leadership and governance, contributing to sustainable institutional growth. A respected mentor in my academic leadership journey also, she emphasized that a non-autonomous curriculum is not a constraint, but can be effectively complemented through value-added courses. We are doing it, ma'am. Thank you, and we welcome you, ma'am. I warmly welcome our student presenters. I would like to sincerely again thank Mr. Tirumurti, sir, for providing this valuable opportunity for undergraduate students to learn and present. The students, in turn, have made the most of this platform and commendable enthusiasm and commitment. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, headed by Mrs. Selvi, for their efforts. A special mention to Mrs. Yashika for her excellent support and coordination, and to Mrs. Uma and Mrs. Suganti, together as a team, they have ensured that this conclave is conducted in line with Tirumurti's guidance and expectations. A special mention to Visual Communication Department headed by Mr. Prakash and his team for their valuable support in ensuring the smooth conduct of this conclave despite their exam schedules. I also extend a warm welcome to all the heads of the department, faculty members, and students from other departments. My dear students, this is your platform. Be curious, be bold, ask questions, think differently. Because leadership does not begin tomorrow. It begins right here, right now. At Avichi College, we strongly believe the education goes beyond textbooks. It's about shaping minds, building confidence, and preparing each one of you to face the world with courage and clarity. Let this conclave ignite a spark within you, a spark to lead, a spark to innovate, and a spark to create impact wherever you go. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to everyone present here. Let us make Leadership Conclave 26 truly inspiring, impactful, and unforgettable. I also welcome Mr. Balakrishnan, sir. Thanks for joining with us today. Thank you.
As this prestigious gesture, I invite our esteemed College Secretary, Mr. AVMK Shanmugam, and our respected Principal, Dr. N. Bhuma, to kindly come forward and felicitate Mr. T.S. Tirumurti as a mark of our admiration and respect.
Distinguished Principal Dr. N. Bhuma, my dear friend Thiru AVM K. Shanmugam, distinguished speakers who are here, the head of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, respected faculty, and my dear students. At the outset, I would like to felicitate the principal, Dr. N. Bhuma, for making this event happen. She has put together every aspect of this conclave and along with other members of the faculty, finalized the themes and made the students get involved to make the presentations which we are going to see. And I also wanted to thank and appreciate the students' involvement in these three presentations that you are about to witness. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the students of what their findings and what they have done for making these three presentations. After their presentations, we are all going to hear and benefit from some of the finest minds in three diverse fields. These three distinguished experts have been at the helm of leadership in their respective fields and careers. Please consider yourself fortunate to hear from them directly on what leadership entails, what leadership means in the corporate world, and what leadership means in team sports. And I really thank every one of them for finding the time to come here and speak to you. Friends, to know about leadership is no more a luxury. It has become a necessity, and that is why this conclave is extremely important for you. Firstly, a simple way to understand leadership is to look around you. Identify leadership in your own family, among your own relatives and friends, and in the institution that you study in. You don't need to be appointed to a position of authority to become a leader. Since many mistakenly think that leadership comes only when you start having authority, that you become a corporate head, or head of an institution or a department, or captain a team, and only then that you need leadership skills, etc. Not at all. Those things only give you authority. Power, especially the power to control lives, come from that authority of the position that you occupy. Leadership comes from the trust earned from people whom you have the power over. You need leadership skills to exercise that authority and succeed in life. You may be the president of a country, but that gives you authority. But that does not mean you give leadership. They are two different things. President Trump may have the power to wage the war against Iran. He may have the authority to do so, but that does not mean that he is providing leadership to the world or even the United States. You are all, of course, following the news every day. The world is facing huge disruptions from the Iran war. Even if we, India or other countries, are not involved in it directly. Being the President of the United States, the greatest country in the world by any yardstick, this gives him the authority and the power to wage a war. But only his leadership will determine whether the world will be a better place when the war ends. And even when we have difficulties in war, for example, India has already provided considerable assistance to our neighbors like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan, etc. during this war. And in the middle of our own difficulties, we are not hesitating to help others whose needs are probably more. That is leadership. There are numerous examples. You all know that in our own freedom struggle, Gandhiji provided leadership even if he did not have position or authority. So coming back to what I started, look at your own surroundings. leadership is inherent in the life you lead. For example, leadership in a family is not about control. It is about guidance, shaping your values, providing for your future if necessary through personal sacrifices of your parents, taking responsibility for the well-being of the family. So you have many role models in your own families. When you come to an institution like Avichi College to study, you accost another aspect of leadership. The institution has come up because someone had the vision and then took the initiative to make this happen. And that was Thiru AVM K. Shanmugam. Sometimes you see only the final product, an institution like this, which is built on values, on inclusivity, catering to all sections of society, catering to the underprivileged and focusing on excellence. But you may not know the hardships Shanmugam may have had to undergo to get Avichi College up and running. All this requires leadership. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So you have examples in front of you. All I'm asking you is to recognize and imbibe these skills by understanding them. Friends, you may also be thinking that examples like Shanmugam may not apply to you, since he comes from a very prominent family in Chennai and hence he could afford to dream big. You may think that, what about us? We come from humble backgrounds or from different set of backgrounds. How does it apply to us? I just wanted to assure you that leadership skills are absolutely essential for every one of you, irrespective of the background you come from. And at various levels, you require this skill, the skill of leadership. You must have all heard of the Peter Principle. I don't know whether you've heard of the Peter Principle. The Peter Principle is a very simple concept in management developed by one Lawrence Peter. It says that people in a hierarchy, they tend to rise, but rise to their level of incompetence. You rise to the level where you become incompetent, which means that you may be great in the job you do and the job you are given, since that is what you all studied for. Technically, you become excellent. You do it very well, and because of that, you are given another job, and you do extremely well there too. You are seen as extremely competent, and that helps you get promoted to a better level where you do equally well. And then you are seen as a person who has given several jobs, done well, and you are singled out, and you are taken and given a responsibility which is much higher, where not only your technical skills matter, but a different set of skills are required. You are asked to run the division. You are asked to set goals. And you are asked to chart out a path for the company to the future. And suddenly you realize at that point that your competence in your training, in your technical skills, they fail you because the nature of the skills that is required in the new job is different. And that's the stage when a very successful person becomes completely incompetent. That level where you become incompetent is usually at the leadership level, because leadership needs different outlook, different skills. And usually we don't develop those skills, but are more focused on the job that we are doing and on the technical skills that we study and that we are trained. That's why the great management guru, Peter Drucker, you must have heard of his name, he said that management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. So don't think leadership applies only to others at a much higher level, or only after a certain age and experience, which will apply only to those people who are trained. By the way, the opportunity of leadership may actually come to you at a very, very young age, even when you're least experienced and least prepared. From my own experience, I just wanted to give a short account. When I was 11 years into the Indian Foreign Service, I was suddenly asked to go to Gaza in Palestine and open a mission and head that mission. This was in 1996, a long time ago. And that is the same Gaza which you see on TV, which it continues to remain after all these years, it continues to remain occupied. It's the same Gaza where 80,000 Palestinians have been killed due to Israeli bombings. This is the same Gaza. And when I went there, I had no idea what to do, since this was not a skill set that I was taught earlier or I had been prepared for. It was like jumping into the water and then learning how to swim. So, and this will happen to every one of you, I can assure you. That's because in the current age, and this, as you all know, is the age of disruption. Disruption, geopolitical, economy, technology disruption. And there is a lot of uncertainty when you go out into the world. Some of the skills that you're learning now in college become redundant even before you graduate. That's the world you are in. And this is thanks to artificial intelligence, digital revolution, chat GBT, technological breakthroughs, and a whole lot of them. So how do you provide leadership when there is disruption and the future is uncertain and unclear? How will all this affect your decision making, particularly in the corporate world? These are questions that your generation needs to think about. Friends, the good news is that I don't have to answer any of these questions. These are difficult questions. The people who are going to give you an insight on how to answer these questions are all sitting here. So I'm very happy that they are doing that and I don't have to do it. But more importantly, I want you to start thinking about all this yourselves. That's the first and the most important place to start. So all I wanted to do is emphasize that leadership skills will be required at various levels by people with a variety of backgrounds and station in life in all institutions and organizations. And it may actually be thrust on you much earlier than you may anticipate in a world which is being disrupted, in a world which is uncertain. So I thank you all once again for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring inaugural address and for setting a powerful tone for Leadership Conclave 26. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. With this inspiring thought, we move forward to our first special address on leadership in the corporate world. Let us welcome our students for the presentation on corporate leadership by the first year students of BCom Computer Application. I invite Jasihan, Murugan and Boni Gyaneshwari to kindly take the stage.
Hari Om. A very good morning to our respected dignitaries, faculty members and participants. Today we are presenting our research titled A Perception Study on Core Traits of an Ideal Corporate Leader. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Our study aims to understand the qualities which the people expect from their corporate leader by using structured and data-driven approach. In today's dynamic world of corporate environment, the leader plays an important and crucial role in the success of organization, and it also depends the leader's guidance in the organization. Modern leaders are expected to go beyond the authorities to take initiative responsibilities for the people in the organization. And it is necessary for the people to learn and to understand the vision, adaptability, communication, and strong people management skills. By understanding these essential traits of leadership, helps the organization build sustainable growth and strong workplace culture. The primary objectives in this study is to identify the most valued traits of corporate leader. And it is important to note that we are mainly focusing on general corporate leader and not any specific individual. Over to Murugan.
Our research follows a descriptive design using primary data collected through a structured questionnaire We included 15 leadership trait statements and used a 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree. The sample size of the respondents were about 50. Respondents were randomly selected from diverse demographic groups to capture unbiased and general perceptions of an ideal corporate leader. Next slide. The overall mean leadership perception score was about 4.15 out of 5. This indicates a strong positive agreement among respondents regarding the importance of core leadership traits. The ranking of leadership traits is based on a mean score analysis. We have included top rated 6 traits in this PPT. The highest rated trait is motivation and inspiration. It has received around 92% of agreements. And next, listening to feedback and teamwork both has received 90% of agreements. And next, communication skills, calculated risk taking, long-term growth focus. These 3 traits are received 82 and 84 and 86% of agreements. Over to Jashan.
Our analysis clearly shows that inspiration leadership ranked highest among all other traits. Collaborative leadership and effective communication were rated higher. In today's business world, employees expect their leaders who involve, engage, and empower their team rather than just simply instructing them what to do. One interesting fact that we have observed from our study is that decision making alone was not the top ranked trait. Instead, motivation, communication, and collaboration were rated higher. This indicates a shift from authority-based leadership to participative and emotional intelligent leadership in the corporate organization. In conclusion, our study demonstrates that an ideal corporate leader is defined by his integrity, communication, collaboration, and long-term vision. In today's world, leadership is not just about the power or the position. It's about the trust, the influence, and the ability to grow with the people. Thank you.
Thank you for your excellent presentation. We truly appreciate your effort and insight. As we get ready to welcome our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Gopal Mahadevan, Director, Strategic Finance, Mergers and Acquisition at Ashok Leyland Limited. Now, I request Mr. AVMK Shanmugam, Mr. T.S. Tirumurti, and Dr. N. Bhuma to kindly felicitate our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Gopal Mahadevan, with a token of appreciation and gratitude.
Good morning, all, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I think I came and spoke last March, and so when I start, I'll tell you about how much of difference that has happened between last March and this March. But first, I think I'm extremely amazed, and I'm thankful. Not thankful. I'm actually kind of very happy that I've stayed back for the entire morning, because it's been quite a learning for me from the time I've been here now. Mr. Shanmugam, I think Mr. Tirumurti, Mrs. Lalitha Balakrishnan, and of course Mrs. Sudha Shah, and of course Mrs. Bhuma, and Mrs. Selvi, and Mrs. Yashika, and all the students. Amazing time. I'm enjoying myself here. I wish I could be 18 again and sit on the other side. But that is not going to be possible, but at least let me enjoy the interactions. I was extremely impressed with the first presentation. Let me tell you, I'm not saying it for motivation. I'm telling it because I have seen lots of presentation, and I like short presentations which deliver the message very quickly. And in this, I think the completeness of the presentation, all the three of them, how they handed over seamlessly,
and how they kind of supported each other, and the the findings of the presentation, I think are all done very, very finely. And so I think Mrs. Bhuma told me that Dr. Bhuma mentioned that Mrs. Yashika was hand holding them, and I think, and Mrs. Selvi also. Amazing work done. Again, fantastic work. You guys don't know, actually, you got a good thing going here. But since Dr. Bhuma said I've got only 30 minutes and already I've had some luminaries come and speak here, every speech that was done from Dr. Bhuma to Mr. Shanmugam to Mr. Murthy, let me tell you, and of course the presentation. Next time if I come here, I'm going to say before any presentation I have to speak because the thunder is already stolen. But anyway, let me start. Very, very fortunate to be here. Dr. Bhuma had asked me to speak about leadership in the corporate world. I'm going to break it into two parts because I'm going to break my presentation into two parts. While leadership will start, leadership is a journey, and you guys are going to start the journey, okay? So I'm going to make it as to what are the qualities that typically a leader should have, and what are the leadership qualities. So I'm going to break it into part one and part two. Dr. Bhuma, as usual, I've taken the liberty of moving slightly away from the topic like I did last time, but hopefully it'll be well worth it. Leadership in the corporate world, so I've named it as the art and science of the trick. This is a gentleman called Yogi Berra. Some of the most outstanding quotes has been given by this football player. This was done I don't know when it was done, but somewhere around 1950s, 60s is when he's done that. The future is not what it used to be. Absolutely true. And I'm not going to spend too much time because I got 20 minutes and I want some very tough, embarrassing questions to be asked by you so that I will be squirming and find it difficult to answer. That will what will make it very entertaining for me, okay? But before that, I came and spoke in March 26 last year because I saw Avichi School presentation 1. This is Avichi School presentation 2. What a difference in the thought. And what has happened during that time, leave alone the wars and all that. Now, the whole philosophy of sovereignty of nations is gone, one. Okay, people seem to be doing whatever they want. But look at the impact of AI. You had this industrial revolution, which was predictable. At that point in time, we thought, people still say, it is like the industrial revolution. Yeah, it is like Y2K. It's not so. Because at every stage, what was happening was mechanization was getting into automation. Y2K was just a one-day problem. From 1999 to 2000, what is going to happen? It's about digits. Once that was passed, that problem is over. It's not a Y2K problem. What has been happening is man has been looking at mechanization 1, mechanization 2. That is why you got Industry 4.0, right? Industry 4.0 is the 4th edition of industrialization. Okay, Industrial Revolution 4.0 is nothing but Industry 4.0. But from there, it went into automation, which was fine. But now it has gone into thought. Slowly, what is happening is from the feet. We started with the feet, coincidentally, by the way, if you look at it. The wheel was actually to replace the feet. And slowly it came to the hands. Now it has gone here. This is a different ball game altogether, but this is not to make you guys frightened. Okay? Everything is an opportunity. Very quickly. Okay? The second one, very pertinently, I do, sift through various things to see what do I tell kids of this age, because you are a little drawn. This doesn't seem to change at all. What Mr. Charles Darwin has said is going to be applicable for future to come. It says that the strongest species that survive are not the most intelligent, but the most responsive to change. That is the most important quality of leadership, my dear friends. You got to be thinking on your feet. You have to be responsive. Okay, that is where you need to acquire your skill sets. If you haven't already acquired. Every day you'll acquire it, don't worry. Skill sets are not acquired suddenly. It's not like a degree. Degree is given at the end. But you would have prepared for it all through your life, not just from the first day you set up foot in Avichi College. You have started earning your degree from preschool, right from the time when your father and mother said, say Amma, say Appa. From there your learnings have started. The degree is coming in sometime when you're 21, 22. So as you keep going, make this a continuous learning journey. This is very, very important. This mindset is very, very important when you're continuously having changes. Okay, but now I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I'm going to finish in my 20 minutes. So building yourself for success in the corporate world. Now success is also leadership. Leadership is also success. It is recognition. I have used the term success because corporate world can also mean business, by the way. Corporate world could also be academics. When I say corporate world, it is not some suited, booted guy who is sitting in front of a computer and talking something with some 5 people. That's not corporate world. Whatever you're doing, for that success, you require the following. There are a lot of them. I have distilled it into what I feel are the key ones. And what I keep telling my kids also, by the way. Building leadership capabilities, right? One is thankfulness. The second one is seeking inspiration, goal setting, determination, upskilling. And most importantly, least recognized is habits. And I'll dwell on it very, very quickly. I know in the first presentation of mine in March 26, but I didn't want to repeat the slide. I had started with one slide. And that slide was, leave your negative thoughts outside before you see the presentation. You can criticize it. There's no problem with that. The human mind is thus, if I speak, immediately what will happen is your mind will try to automatically oppose it. That is how we are all tuned. When the professor speaks, your mind will say something opposite. When you are in a movie, you will try to find fault. Because that is how we are wired. The problem with that kind of a wiring and encouraging that kind of a wiring is that you will never learn. Keep your mind like a parachute. Parachute, when it works, it works only when it is open. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So keep your mind open through all this presentation. All of what I say may not be gospel truth. All of may not apply to you also, but keep it open, then you will get some ideas of what tricks you can do, right? Thankfulness, be thankful where you are. You are here today in a very fine institution with, most importantly, very passionate people. And I am not saying it because Mr. Shanmugam is here or Mrs. Bhuma is here. I see the passion in these people, including Dr. Tirumurti. Please understand, he is spending his time, Dr. Bhuma is spending his time, Mr. Shanmugam is spending his time. He can do so many other things. Why run only this institution? Or, Dr. Selvi or Mrs. Yashika. You will realize the importance of all these people once you leave the institution. I realize the importance of all my profs, all my school teachers, and I have done a lot of things sitting at the back bench, which I regret now. But let me tell you, I understand their worth. I understand their worth. Today, I realized it the day I stepped out into the corporate world. How much they have actually handheld. Realize that. Very, very important, guys. Dr. Bhuma was saying, some kids were saying that, they have to, that discipline is too much here, that you have to tuck in your, shirt, shave. And by the way, I'm not shaved because I have got a minor operation here. Otherwise, I'm the clean-shaven guy that you saw in the picture. But I said operation or no operation, I'm coming to Avichi. Now, the point is this. It's important, Don't resist it. Because you can't go like this with an open shirt, with, toned jeans and get a job. You can't get a private equity investor. You can't get customers. You can sit in your sofa and say, I look hep. That you can do. Maybe you can start a YouTube channel, it may work. Maybe if you got that flavor for it, nothing wrong with that. Okay, nothing wrong. YouTube is very important as a profession today. But there is nothing wrong in being clean. If you look at all the famous people in the world, you just Google and see. 75 to 80% of them will be well groomed. You take anybody. You just Google and see. Everybody will be well groomed. Why are they so well groomed? Because that makes impression. Right? So coming back to here, be thankful about being in Avichi. Take it as a jump start to where you want to go. Okay? Be thankful of where you are. That is the most important thing that you need to know. Second one, be inspired. I think Dr. Murthy already mentioned it. This gentleman lost his eyesight at 7, and he is All India ranked 20 in UPSC. And that lady there is the mother. He has, I think, failed 2 to 3 times. You know, that is the greatness of this. Just imagine here, just 10 seconds, no, close your eyes. 10 seconds and see whether you can read. And that lady actually has been reading all the information to him, general knowledge, politics, economics, everything he's just storing in his brain. He's just storing in his brain. And see, he has not got 100 or 150 or 200. He's got 20 AIR. I think Dr. Murthy will be able to tell you how difficult and impossible a task it is. But the story is not that he got it. The story is each of you can do it. Each of you can do it. We are all much better placed than him. He's in some Bihar interior. Be inspired by what you see. Okay, be inspired by the honesty of someone who is far, far below you, but who is eking out a great living and having a smile on their face. Very, very important, right? Set goals. I'm not going to get too much into it. You need to have goal settings. It's very important. You can't run away from it. Don't think that college so it's okay. I will have a good time. Nothing wrong in have a good time. Work hard, play hard. Enjoy your youth. Have all that fun. No worries. But also set goals. And these goals have to keep coming as you are. Even a child has a goal. You know, when they have to start walking, they try terribly hard to walk. They keep falling to walk. That is the determination of kids, right? Always have these goals. Education goals, skilling goals, career goals, wealth goals, health goals, and personality goals. Very, very important. Determination and effort count the most. All the rest, including a mobile phone, is the least important in your life, now or forever. I'm not saying don't enjoy a mobile phone or don't do all that. But don't make it the center of your universe. Because these mobile phones are programmed to addict you. Okay? A 3-second scroll of a Facebook or anything like that depletes your brain power for half an hour. That is the equation. So keep your determination very clear. Almost all the guys who have done academically well, no? You go and see, all of them would have said, you know what, I have kept away from mobile phone and electronic media and television. No, it's because it's a punishment, yeah. If you want to have a fitness, no, you have to get to the gym and have a healthy diet. You can't say, no, I'll have rasagulla and I'll have this, I'll have cheese, I'll have this, but I also will have a healthy. You can't have it. The world is pretty binary, please understand. This is not a sacrifice. The moment your brain says it's a sacrifice, no, it's over. The game is over. The game is over. The guy who successfully quit smoking, no, they never say, I quit smoking. They say, I don't smoke. It's a choice. Quitting is not. I don't smoke is a choice. That is the mindset of a leader. The leadership comes in from inside you. It is an inspiration, okay? It's not about getting to be the best CEO, best CFO, best X, best Y. It's not that. When you're finally going to lead people, no, that confidence has to come from inside you. Right? So these traits are very, very important. Upskilling. I think I've talked. Now there are 5 sections in upskilling I'm going to say very, very quickly. 1. Whatever your career choice, AI is here to stay. It's not going to leave. Okay, very soon this mobile phone will be converted to a brain implant. It's only a matter of time. Already Google Lens is there, Google Glass is there. Okay, so it's slowly getting inside. So when you're going to do that, if you don't know how to do the technology and if you're going to just use the AI chat GPT, there is this assignment that Dr. Selvi has given, use chat GPT and use it. That's the dumbest way of using chat GPT, by the way. Okay, it's doing your work for you and you're just cut, copy, paste and giving it away. It doesn't work. Understand how these technologies work, what is their ability, how can you use it intelligently. When you want to use something, no, should be in command of it. It should not be in command of you. When you're going to use ChatGPT, you have to use the prowess of ChatGPT to make you innovate. Not to just copy answers, but understand one thing, the technology has changed so much today. You know what is happening now? This morning I was reading about it because I don't need to, but I'm extremely interested. Now they are saying that the problem with agentic is two. One is the human brain, that synapse. There is some, what shall I say, chemical there, right? That is how the thoughts actually go like this. Our brain, the thought process goes like this. And the synapse gap that is there determines how to go about the thought process. And that is a purely God-given natural process, which is not there in AI yet. That will also come. It's a protein complex that is there between the nerve endings. AI still doesn't have that capability. So that is why it will go in a particular thread. It will go in a particular thread after some time. The second thing AI does not have, which they are now going to kind of solve, is it cannot go back in memory, think about it, and then come forward again and solve a problem. You have to go and prompt it. Today they are going to solve that by using a technology called as harness. So somebody is writing a program called as a harness, which will keep all of this like your temporary memory, which is there in your brain, and then pull it out and use it. Like for example, Dr. Shanmugam talked about that train 8.0, 18, train 18, my apologies. Now next time I meet him, no sir, your thing on train 18 was fantastic. Is something I am using a harness and going and talking to him. AI won't be able to do that till this harness comes. But they will get there. Get used to it. Learn AI, the ability for AI, keep in touch continuously. This is going to be one of the most transformational things that is happening in our lives. Don't think idella nadakadu, idella chumma. We have seen enough technologies. It's not so. Upskilling, keeping updated. Very important here. Whether you are going to get into a job or going to get into business, keep reading this news, keep reading what's happening, because organizations want to have people who are knowledgeable. Bosses want people who are knowledgeable. Promoters want people who are knowledgeable. You are their ChatGPT, you understand? They want to ensure that they have a set of people who will be their think tank, and for that you need to get updated. Oh, I'm doing BCom, let me only look at finance. I won't look at marketing. I will not look at other functions. Doesn't work anymore. Today, everybody has to be a general manager. Okay? Facebook, Insta, my favorite thing. Facebook, Insta, TikTok scrolling is entertaining, addictive, satisfying, mentally fatiguing, and totally useless. Okay? I have to say it. Very satisfying, let me tell you that. Even I do it. Then I have to stop myself and then shut it off. Even I am finding it very difficult to read a novel of 500 pages today. So you know what I have started to do now? I'm telling you, it's a problem. So now I have started to go back into reading Sidney Sheldon short stories, so that it will be over in 15 pages. Because I have to train my program. Look at the damage it is doing. These are programmed by psychologists to ensure that you are becoming irrelevant. That's what they want. So please ensure that you stay away from this beyond a point. I'm not going to prescribe what time it is. I'm not your moral keeper, but this is very important, right? Decide what you want. You have only 14 hours. You know why 14 hours? Because 24 minus 8, I would say sleep 8 hours is required. And then you will have, say, 1 hour at least gym, health, something, 2 hours of other stuff like this. So if you really look at it, 10 hours will go. 14 hours will be left. Out of that, 1-2 hours will go in transportation. Then you will have a 7-hour job, 8-hour job. Where will you have time to upskill? if you keep doing this Facebook, TikTok and all this stuff. Nobody is going to pay you any money for Facebook and TikTok here unless you are generating the reels. If you want to do that, that's a career by itself. I don't want to comment on that. But keep your priorities very right. It will look very fulfilling now. After some time, it's a problem. Upskilling, communication, this is very important. If I'm saying I'm experienced, I'm knowledgeable, I'm well thought, that's because I'm talking to you and I'm putting together a presentation. I have worked to put this presentation only for Avichi. This is not a stock presentation. Communication is the largest skill. If you know something, if you've got the ability to do something, if you can deliver something, all of this can happen, yeah. But unless you communicate it, people will not know. And I'll talk about it a little later very quickly. Network, I talked about it even last time. Build your networks. Keep in touch with good people, capable people, people who are better than you, people who can open doors for you. It is not about being, it is not about trying to be political or something like that. You need to build networks today, right? So keep in touch. This small triangle which you start now, as you start building it up, right? As you start building this up, this will become like this by the time you are 30, 35. The triangle will invert. It will become a solid base for you. You can reach out to people for business purpose, even for entertainment purpose, for social network purpose, for whatever, right? Habits, invest in your health. This is one of the biggest challenges youth have today, including me. Health is most disregarded in our thing, and we are becoming an aging population. Believe me, having poor health and you are at 80, horrible. And if you are unhealthy, nobody will keep you in office. You can't run a business. You can't go even for a hiking. You can't do anything. Invest in your health, right? Invest in your mental health. I'll talk, one slide is there only for that. Learn to manage money and be commercially savvy. This is very important. It's very, very, Warren Buffett said one thing, and unfortunately I read it very late in my life, not that I was spending. He said, your spend should be your income minus your saving target. Not the reverse. Income minus spending is not saving. So you should have a target for saving. How much of your income do you want to save? If you are studying now and students, how much do you really want to spend and save up on your father or mother's money and keep it for a rainy day? Very important. Very important. Wealth is not created by wearing a Rolex watch. Wealth is in your bank account and in your investments and your peace of mind when you sleep. Oh, Trump is waging a war. I'm not bothered. I'm safe. That's what matters. Connect with positive and capable people. Again, very important. Very important. There are a lot of negative people. Stay away from this. If your friends are negative, stay away from them. They will have nothing to add to your life. People who talk negatively, avoid them like the plague. They are everybody, all of you, or maybe 20% of you will have criticism about my presentation. That is fair enough. It's okay. But don't, this college is bad, or that college is bad, or this position is bad, this person is bad. Stay away from all this. Look at people who are positive. You will gain something out of them. Like I joined this company and there were 3 people who came, Acha, sir, why did you come from that place to this place? I have come here. I have come, na. So now why are you asking this? So I said, why? This is, no, you don't know about this. Then another guy came, 4th guy, I'll never forget it. He said, welcome to a wonderful company, sir. You will enjoy this place. People will say a lot of things, but this company has a lot of positives. You know what? I just stuck around him for 3-4 days. And then I realized that, yeah, things are really good. Avoid negative guys. They will only pollute you. Negative guys are pollution, please understand. Nothing else, right? Take care of your appearance. You don't have to wear a Van Heusen shirt or anything of that sort. Nothing is required like that. Keep yourself clean, presentable. See, that guy or the person, when I say guy, I mean girls also, okay. What I mean is, The person across you should say, okay, this guy is, clean. He has pride in himself. He's keeping himself neat. And you don't have to have some fancy scent and all that. But, give a good appearance. Very important, yeah. If I come here in a kurta and one torn t-shirt with Hawaii chappal, will you listen to me? You won't listen to me, no? You say, what is this corporate guy coming? So I have to wear all these appurtenances. I'm not really wanting to wear this, to be honest. Right? But it is important. If I have to convey a message to you, I need to have that. Right? Have a schedule. Nalege pathakalam, tomorrow. Boss, when are you going to do the homework? It is on Friday. We'll do it here. Today is what? Tuesday, no? Thursday night is sufficient time is there. Keep doing work like this. Well, you will also get there. But if you want to get there in time without any tension, have a schedule for it. If you want to do it on Wednesday, no problem. But you say, what are you going to do from now to Wednesday? It's very important. Scheduling is very important in your job, in your business, in your collaboration. In everything, timeliness is important. When I was coming in the car, somebody called me from Canada. 2 o'clock in the morning, he has messaged. I used that half an hour, 15 minutes. You can ask that gentleman who picked me up. I immediately called him back. Promptness is very important. If somebody is calling me, I need to return his call. That's how we are working today. Keep your workspace and your personal space clean and orderly. இதமா அப்பா அம்மா சொல்கிற மாதிரி என்னையை அவன் தொணன்னு காலங்காத்தால் ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டான்னு நீங்கள் நினச்சேன்னா தப்பு. ஏன்னா as you keep going and going, you know what is going to happen? You're going to have massive amount of stuff. You'll have data. You'll have work papers. Right? You'll have study papers. And if you keep them in an organized manner, no, it makes life so simple. You will not understand this. But there is a reason. Do you know that soldiers, you know what they are told? The first thing they have to do across the world, when they get up, they don't even brush their teeth. They are asked to make their bed. You know why? That making the bed is a psychological routine that make them know that they are being disciplined. I do it. And I find that it's got an immense, because you're doing your own bed. Once you do it, no, and if you keep everything in one place, and see, if somebody comes, your boss comes, and it's all paper and calculator and files and topsy-turvy, that fellow will say, what kind of a guy is this man? You know, they will get an impression which is negative. Why do you have that? Keep it clean, keep it orderly. And keep stuff. Don't waste time searching stuff. Wasting time searching for stuff is the most, other than TikTok, Facebook, and other stuff, the other most useless stuff you can do is wasting time searching for stuff. It's the most useless thing to do. Okay? Section 2. Now being successful in the corporate environment. What is the secret sauce? Now I have put all of this in blue. Right? Now these are the qualities of a leader or an aspiring leader or a person who needs to be accepted in the corporate world, in business, by customers, by anybody, in no particular order. Attitude and positive approach is one of the most important things. Your survey also kind of says it in a way, right? I mean, very empathizing, understanding with employees and all that. Whatever happens, have a very positive attitude. Right? I am now sure that she is going to talk about cricket, and that positive attitude will go on till the last ball of the last over. Am I right? You will never say die. At least we have to give them the pleasure of ensuring that we score more runs or prevent runs from them. That attitude is very important. It's a positive attitude. Okay? The second one is alignment. Now, this alignment is a political statement in a way. But if you're working with someone, if you're studying an institution, if I have to talk something, you need to be aligned with the larger purpose. What is the organization trying to do? What is my superior trying to do? What are my colleagues trying to do? And you have to ensure that you're aligned. Aligned means not saying yes, sir, But broadly, am I going the same direction or am I going in some other direction? If you're going in some other direction, unless there is an exceptionally good reason for it, it's not going to help. Third, understanding numbers. Whether you are in HR, you are in marketing, you are in finance, you are in this thing, ultimately it all boils down to money. And it boils down to commercial astuteness. So always invest time in understanding commerce, numbers. You don't have to be a doctorate or PhD in this. But I see a lot of artists, people saying, I don't know how the money part of it, somebody takes care. Biggest mistake. Because if it's your father or mother, they will take care of it. If you give it to somebody else, they may take care of you. Yeah, so you need to have your numbers, where the money is coming, where the money is going, how is it being invested. Some amount of knowledge right from the beginning is necessary, okay? And organizations want it. All leaders, department heads, manufacturing heads, quality heads, sales heads, CEOs, technology guys, all of them will have some amount of financial savviness. You can't say, I'll invent the next rocket, but I don't know how much it's going to cost. Right? Next, listening is, again, it came out in your survey, one of the most important things in your journey. Listening means listening, not nodding your head. Before you speak, listen to what is being said. Understand the conversation, then make your contribution, especially when you're up the learning curve. Becomes very, very important in a corporate world. Right? Then once you understand the context and then when you make your comment, it makes it very useful. And you are going to learn only if you listen, guys. You're not going to learn if you're going to talk. It's very important for you to listen, hear, understand the context, make notes, right? And then kind of go and research on it. That's how this whole process of learning happens. Problem solving. When you go there, when you join a company, when you start a business, when you're doing whatever, okay? I'm not going to again and again clarify. People don't want people who say, this is not possible, that is not possible. If you cross the road, you will die. These are not conversations that anybody wants. People want solutions. People want people with solutions. When you join an organization, they want solutions. How to make this happen? How do I make this fest happen? How do I make it more exciting? Right? That is what is ultimately required. Ultimately, even Mr. Tirumurti would, I wish I had the opportunity to hear him out more. He's a person with an excellent repertoire of skills and speak. Especially in his job, when he is dealing with complex individuals across complex countries, he has to display all these qualities before he can negotiate a deal for our country. It becomes very important. It's not about speaking first. Sometimes you may wonder, why is the government keeping quiet? It is keeping quiet with a purpose, with a larger purpose. Becomes very important. Commitment, execution is key here. Okay, commitment is another important quality in the job. You have to be committed, not just show commitment, right? And when you say something, when you promise a date, you have to deliver on that date or deliver it in advance. It's okay if you can't deliver it on that date. But if you can't deliver it on that date, tell it well in advance. If suppose you have to submit a project in 1 week and you know that by the second day you're running short of it, in the second day go and tell your superior, you know what, I think this project is going to take 2 more days. Don't tell it at the end, the last minute, sir, I need another 2 more days. Then your boss will lose it because he would have made commitments based on your commitment. So living up to commitments becomes very, very important. Going beyond one scope. Here I'm going to give some couple of examples also, my personal examples. See, wherever you are, don't try to box yourself in my function. This is not my responsibility. That is his responsibility. I will do my job and keep it quiet. You're not going to grow. People want to see leaders. What are leaders finally? They are able to assimilate at the top a lot of things. They are able to manage teams. How are they able to manage teams? Not by being ignorant. Please understand, when Mr. Shanmugam says, I don't know what he knows, he may not know in depth because he doesn't have to know in depth. but he will know broadly how to do a thing done, get a team done. That is how he's able to so effectively, manage an organization like this, or Dr. Bhuma, right? So if you learn more and more things and are then able to roll it out, then you display the capabilities of growing up. Like, for example, I was in this company called Amaraja Batteries, and I'll tell two things very quickly. Both of them happened there. It has happened. I'll tell another thing also in Thermax. Nothing to do with my job. I was CFO that time, right? Chief Financial Officer. I can just be doing accounting and keeping quiet. Then what happened is, there was this press meet, and then I told the managing director. Then the head of corporate communications was leaving. I don't remember. So then I had prepared a roster, and then I gave it to him, and I told him, sir, not sir, I said, Jay, we have to discuss this. He said, okay. He said, you prepared this Q&A? I said, yeah. Then I said, I need another 5 minutes. He said, what? I said, now the press guys are going to come. They're going to sit. Okay. So he said, tell me, what is it? I said, see, I have given a name to each of the desks. So those people will come and sit only there. I said, okay. And I said, I have drawn a seating map of this in a chart for you with the picture of that guy with the name. He was looking. Okay, why have you done that? I said, because when you speak to him, you can say, Mr. Ramesh, that was a good question. It gives a personal touch. And believe me, that press meet was a hit. Because he didn't know the press guys then. I knew the press guys. So once you do that, I have actually gone beyond my scope. It was not my responsibility. I could have said, okay, let him manage, I will manage, and I will. I became head of corporate communications the next day. And I learned. I'm just telling this because it became like, he said, such depth. I said, yeah, because I said, that's what this is about. And then I went and got myself trained. It's not enough with that experience. I went and got trained in O&M, how to do corporate communications, how do you do that, body language. I really enjoyed it. How do you sit? How do you talk? When somebody is talking, you don't in a boardroom sit back. All of this is very important, right? Similarly, it happened in Thermax. There was this IT study. Somebody came very quickly, and Mahindra, they came, and then they found out that they could go through all the laptops. Anybody could walk inside the factory. They had done a penetration testing. All of this happened. So then they said, we need to now tighten our physical security, IT security, our security guard system, compound wall, XYZ across 6 plants, etc. So we were all shocked that this has happened. So then they asked, who would like to do it? I immediately put up my hand. CFO of a company doing security, admin and all that. So everybody were like, what is this guy? Why is he putting up his arm? It's an embarrassment. Do we say yes or no? I said, does anybody have a doubt? I want to do it. And then they gave it. And it was a fantastic learning for me. As I'm walking in, I can say, okay, this one, that. It helps, okay. How does it help? I don't know. But your knowledge, as it becomes more and more broad-based, your decision-making capabilities suddenly become magically different, yeah. It just becomes magically different. Now, understand your organization. Even Avichi school understand it better. Understand it for customers, business, key departments, key people, who are the competition. Very important for you when you join. You come and join Ashok Leyland tomorrow, do some little bit of research before you come inside the company. Not just for the interview, even before you come inside the company. You're going to work inside it, no? Once you go inside your home, if you go into a new place, you ask, where is this food? Where is that? Where is this? Like that, you need to know that. Okay, learn to navigate in your organization. Very important for survival and leadership. Who are the movers and shakers? Who are the opinion leaders? Becomes very important to understand. This is not playing politics. This is understanding the lay of the land, understanding the terrain. Don't get caught in organizational politics. This fellow talking about that guy, don't get into that. That's not for you. Be professional, be honest to yourself, deliver what is supposed to be done, and get into that. Okay? Develop good acquaintances and partners. Have good colleagues. But I'm going to give you one thing, some of you may not agree. Don't try to build friendships in work unless you are really sure about the friendship. Keep it professional, keep it close, but keep it professionally close. You want to have friendships? Keep it outside of work. Don't mix both of them together, because invariably you will land up into problem. And let me tell you this, if I had time, I would have told it. I'm already exceeding time. I have personally been impacted when I put faith into people. You can trust people. Trust is different from faith. Faith comes from friendship. Keep it separate, keep it professional. Okay? Try not to be seen as emotional. High voice, low pitch, crying, then, banging, throwing things. I had a rotten day. Nothing will happen. Calm down. Go drink a cup of coffee, drink some water, take a chill pill, as you guys say. No, my daughter will say, Dad, take a chill pill. I'll say, okay, I'll take a chill pill. But the point is, take a chill pill. Nothing will happen. Nobody is putting a bomb in your head. You had a bad day, your boss has scolded you, a couple of people have played politics, relax. Just walk away from the scene for a couple of minutes. You'll be fine. Work-life balance, this was told to me by Mr. Jayagala. He said, Gopal, what do you think about work-life balance? I said, yeah, actually, work-life balance is required. Oh, so work is different, life is different. These are two distinct aspects of your life. So work is not life. Is that what you're saying? We had a debate, by the way. It was he and I used to debate. I said, yeah, you're right. He said, I think it should be a balanced life. It's not a work-life balance. Like if I haven't, today especially so, it is not that you have to work for 70 hours a week, okay? I'm not even recommending that. Have your time for work, plan it well, nothing is going to happen. You're not going to put man into Neptune or Uranus or Pluto. You will have time. But sometimes you may have to shift your priorities. If something critical comes and you have a movie to come, sometimes you may have to sacrifice the movie. If something not critical is there, but you have a movie to go, sometimes the movie can take priority also. It all depends. But don't put it into, I went 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I have to go home. 6 o'clock, I have to switch off. Don't be in that mode. Sometimes you switch off at 5 o'clock, sometimes you have to switch off at 7 o'clock. If you have to switch off at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock sometimes, don't get irritable. Don't get into tension. Don't get frustrated. These are all useless emotions. Right? You need to know how to manage your life. I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in a balanced life. I need to give time to my family. I need to give time to this session. I need to give time to the board meeting in the afternoon. I'm sure each of them have the same problems. It's not just me. Balance your life well. Okay? Finally, the success formula. And I'll finish with this. I know it took a little bit of time. Potential, in my opinion, these are all my thing. You can tear it apart. Potential is nothing but effort plus attitude. That is what is your potential. If you just have attitude, nothing will happen. If you just put effort also, nothing will happen beyond a point. Yeah, it will happen. But your potential will come out when you are having positive energy, your attitude, how you feel about it, right? Second, performance is potential minus interference. The more and more you're going to have other stuff to come, bad day, negative mood, ill health, TikTok, right, movie, all that, whatever potential you have, obviously, and I'm talking about professional potential, okay? If you're doing a Carnatic musician, then that is the potential, right? Whatever interference you have is going to be taking away your potential. Please understand that. So the less interference you have, whether it is mental or physical, the more is your potential. Capability is nothing but performance plus ability to communicate. I might have all this knowledge, but if I'm not able to come and talk, that means I'm incapable, right? Recognition is capability plus being appreciated. If I don't get a clap from you from this after this session, that means, well, I might think I've got capability, but I'm not getting any recognition, yeah? And this is where your superior will play an important role, right? He or she has to recognize you, which means he or she has to appreciate you after you have had the capability, right? Now, this is my corporate trick equation. And finally, success is recognition plus reward. Your boss saying, Gopal is such a fantastic guy. I simply love him. But when it comes to appraisal and promotion, he is there. His favorites are here. Means nothing at the end of it because your success is not there. Now you may say internally you have got success, I have got happiness. Yeah, all of that is there. But finally we want to succeed, right? We want to get promoted. We want our paycheck to be higher. We want to take it home more. We want to grow. We want to be CEO. We want to be business head, whatever, right? This is the crux of whatever I wanted to say. All of this will happen only when you have communication, capability, positive attitude, ability to deliver on time, in full, ensuring that you are getting recognized, etc. And one of my earlier bosses said something which I'll leave it with you, which is a very deep meaning. It may sound very funny. He said, Gopal, and he didn't mention it to me. He was talking in one of his blue days. You know, promotion and increment is not something you deserve. He said, okay, promotion and increment is something you negotiate. And if you have to negotiate, you should be in a position to negotiate. That means you are such a vital asset for the company that the organization doesn't want to leave you. Do you understand what I mean? Becomes very, very important. Keep this always in mind, whether you're negotiating with a customer or with a superior or with an organization. But don't do it with your teachers. But I'm just telling you, very important, right? Finally, good leaders don't get stressed. This is very important, guys. Dr. Bhuma had said, why don't you also touch a little bit on this? Mental health is very important. You guys feel you are under a lot of stress. You will compare with guys who are there on Facebook or anything. Oh, they are having a fantastic life. This fellow said, I have made lots of crores of money. That fellow has made investment in stock and done it. Every day you will get feeds saying, put money, 5 lakhs, you'll make it into 20 lakhs. Here is my 3 free tips for the day you can make. Don't get into all that. Don't get into artificial ways of doing something which will never happen. It is not there. It is all falsehood. It's completely falsehood. And if something goes wrong, when you're done everything right, don't put pressure on yourself. Nothing is worse the pressure of stress. Stress creates mental challenges and physical challenges. Don't get stressed out. Plan your life better. Do all the right things. After that, if things go wrong, replan your life. But don't get into stress. Do you understand? Can I hear a yes from all of you? Yes, this is the most important slide. Don't get stressed out, even when you get into the worst crisis in your life. But try to avoid crisis as much as possible. Prepare, pursue, persevere, stay relevant, and you can stay ahead. Good luck.
Leadership is not about a title or a designation. It is about impact, influence, and inspiration. Now, we move on to our second session on understanding leadership concepts. We now continue with the student presentation on educational leadership, presented by the students of 2nd BCom Accounting and Finance, exploring their ideas. May we now invite Hariharan, Beulah Merlin, and Ilavarasi to come forward and highlight their work.
Hari Om. Education is not about just teaching. It is all about transforming the minds and shaping the futures. Good morning, respected dignities, faculty members, and dear friends. I am Hariharan. I am together with my teammates, Ms. Beulah Merlin and Ms. Ilavarasi. Our presentation aims to focus on identifying the key traits of effective educational leadership. In today's dynamic world and effective environment, a leader plays a vital role in teaching, guiding, and inspiring students and bringing a meaningful changes. Throughout a survey, a few important key traits that define successful educational leadership. Over to Beulah Merlin.
Leadership plays a key role in education. It focuses on guiding and inspiring people rather than just managing tasks. It supports teachers and motivates students and also influences the learning environment. The effective leadership improves the quality of education by encouraging better teaching practice and promoting continuous improvement. It's help in building a positive and progressive educational environment. The main objective is to identify the key leadership traits in education. It also aims to understand the importance of leadership in education sector and analyze its impact on learning and teaching. Its help in gaining insights into the expectations from education leaders. Over to Ilavarasi.
For our study, we adopted a descriptive survey method, which is useful for understanding opinions, attitudes, and perceptions of people. The survey collected among 75 respondents, including educationists such as teachers and academic professionals. The collected data was structured questionnaire, including carefully designed questions related to various leadership traits. The collected data was analyzed using percentage analysis and simple interpretation to identify the most important leadership traits. We used 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree to measure the responses. The survey was collected among the age group 30 to 50. This graph shows the important leadership quality from our survey. The number shown in this graph represent the number of respondents out of 75. About 74 respondents out of 75 agreed that clear vision and adaptability are very important. This means a good leader should have clear goals and be able to adjust to change. Similarly, skill-based learning promotion was supported by 72 respondents, highlighting the importance of practical and experiential learning in today's education system. Around 71 respondents agreed on qualities like strategic planning, academic quality, use of technology, and continuous improvement are must. Overall, the results show that combinations of planning, vision, adaptability, and innovation are considered essential for effective educational leadership. Over to Ariyaran.
From our survey, a few important key sites can be identified. Firstly, vision and adaptability. Vision and adaptability has emerged the few important traits. For an example, during the shift to online learning, a leader who quickly adapted that ensures continuity in education. Secondly, there is a strong focus in academic quality and strategic planning. For instance, institutions that regularly reviewing their teaching methods and curriculum is able to maintain better academic standards. And thirdly, the finding highlights is the importance of skill-based learning and innovation. A good example is the introduction of internships, workshops, project life-based learning, which helps students to gain better practical knowledge. Finally, the survey emphasized the role of technology in leadership. A leader must encourage the use of digital platforms, online resources, and digital classroom to enhance practical learning experience. Finally, the survey shows that the modern educational leaders are not just administrators, but the enablers of changes and growth. To conclude, the survey highlights an effective leader is built on a basic combination of vision, adaptability, and strategic planning. The findings clearly shows that the educationists value leaders who focus on academic quality and continuity in improvement. And it is also evident that modern leaders must actively embrace technology and innovation to meet the changing needs of education. Finally, in simple terms, an educational leader can't just manage an institution, but they create the shape of future for society. Thank you.
Thank you for such a brilliant presentation. It was not only impressive but truly inspiring. Due to time constraint, we will have the Q&A session later. To know more about our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Lalitha Balakrishnan, Senior Consultant, IIT Madras, former Principal MOP Vaishnav College for Women, I request Mr. AVMK Shanmugam, Mr. T.S. Tirumurti, and Dr. N. Bhuma to kindly felicitate our respected chief guest, Dr. Lalitha Balakrishnan, as a symbol of our heartfelt appreciation.
happy day and a very good afternoon to all of those who have gathered here. I am indeed delighted, honored, and truly humbled to be part of this event here. Mr. Shanmugam, the secretary and correspondent of this college, Mr. Tirumurti, who has been the permanent representative of India at the UN. We've only learnt about it in books, and to see and occupy a seat beside such a person is truly an honor. Mr. Gopal Mahadevan, I knew that the concepts in finance are very difficult, but the way he explained leadership, if anyone would have explained the concepts of finance, I would have been a better student at commerce as well. Sir, pleasure meeting you. And Miss Sudha Shah, a very close friend and one of the pioneers of women's cricket. Today we all talk about India winning the World Cup, doing so well in the under-19s and at various levels when even such facilities were not at all available. Just you pick up the bat and ball and go and make the nation proud of you. Very honored to be sharing a podium with you, madam. And of course, my dear friend, Dr. Bhuma. I knew she had taken over as principal of this college a few years ago. But I had to come and see for myself how much she has put in her efforts to make the institution what it is today. I can see it in the teachers, the infrastructure, the level of confidence with which the students speak. A principal is always known as a successful principal only if she has a good team to work with, and she has built the team around her. Hats off to you, madam, and thank you so much for making me part of this event. So, today I will be talking to you about leadership concepts and how it has impacted me as an academician. More so, what would be the learnings you can take forward in your journey as a student today, as an employee tomorrow, and a leader in the years to come. So the key factors which we would probably be dealing with today are, some of which has already been touched upon by Mr. Mahadevan, and that's why I told him he's like the Abhishek Sharma of the previous IPL. He's hit all the sixers, and now it's for me to try and score a few boundaries. And I also have Sudha Shah sitting in the audience, but still I will do my best. So the key factors which leaders should focus upon are communication, teamwork, decision making, managing time, empathy and adaptability. We will see each of this in some detail. Sorry. Yeah. Kotler gave us the 4 P's of marketing. So I'm going to give you the 5 P's of leadership. A leader should definitely know what he or she is in for. The purpose. Why are you being called the leader? And what is the aim and purpose that you choose to achieve? You need to take the people along with you. You need to build relationships. So what is important here is a leader cannot be aloof and separate from the team. If you're going to seat yourself in your high-handed office and refuse to look at the people around you, then you cannot be a good leader. A leader is one who will take her people and team along with her. And the most important thing is you need to work out the route map. What is the process? How are you going to get there? These are very simple terms. So when you sit in a position of importance, you need to understand who are there along with you and how you need to take them along. And when you have decided on the roadmap, you should be evaluating your performance from time to time. And you should also see how much you have grown and what is the innovative things that you have done over the period of time. It is not eternity that we have got. Everyone has a fixed term. Even principals today are evaluated after the first 5 years, and for after another 5 years they say bye bye, you can go and occupy some other position. That's what the UGC says. So your time is fixed and limited, like you have only 20 overs in the IPL to prove what you can. You cannot keep batting forever. So therefore you need to keep monitoring the progress and growth. What are the traits of a leadership that you need to remember? The first one, eating a frog. Have you ever heard of eating a frog? It's something very unpleasant, isn't it? So what does this actually mean? So this is what my mother used to tell me when I was a young girl. Whenever she never served frogs, of course, but whenever she used to put something on the plate, and my brother and I, when we were eating, I would say, no, you've given him less, you take some more from my plate and give it to him, I cannot eat so much. You know what she would reply? She would say, whatever is extra, you finish it first, so that you don't have to feel bad about it. So similarly, why this example here? When you find all the tasks that you come across when you are being a leader or allotting to a team, do away with what you don't like, you do it first. What is most important and what is most tough, you do it first, so that the rest of the time you can enjoy. If while reading your corporate secretaryship for the exams, your exams are going to come the next week, you don't like income tax. How many of you like income tax? Very few. Okay. So read the income tax problems and other things first, finish it off, so that the rest of it you can take it easy. You might have a very good match coming up. Though sir said the digital detox is important, we still like to spend time watching matches, watching movies, because you're all young, and I don't fully subscribe to his idea of being very good and very disciplined, though I've been a principal, because you also get to live only once, you also get to enjoy only once. So enjoy with limitation. So when you want to enjoy, what do? Eat the frog first. So what you don't like, but what is difficult to do, you do it off first, so that the rest of it is easy and you can still do what you like doing. Fighting the tyranny of the urgent, especially a principal. She would have lots of things to do. Suddenly somebody would come and say, ma'am, please ma'am, only 2 minutes, I just want this to be done. Or you're in a corporate employment and in a meeting and somebody says, please attend to this call because that is very important. So when somebody tries to push their decisions on you or tries to tell you to do something which you really don't want to do because it is urgent, and they make it feel very important at that point of time, you must know how to handle it. If it is really important, that time you have only a split second to decide whether you need to do it then or that can wait. I will explain the time management technique a little later. And the scheduling has already been dealt with in much detail. I won't talk about that, but the next one is very important. Learn to say no. When you don't want to do something and when you feel that something is not important for either you or the organization, what should you do? Say no. You're not going to think about the person in front of you. Oh, he'll feel so bad. He's calling me to preside over the dance arangetram of his daughter, and I need to be somewhere else at that time, which is more important for me, which is more important for the organization. I find it very difficult to say no. But what should I do? In the interest of the organization, in the interest of my personal growth and development, I should cultivate the habit of saying no. And it's a no when it's a no. It can be very important for the other person, but if it's not important for you or the organization, you need to take care of that, because charity begins at home. I know I'm sounding high-handed here, but it is important to say no at that point, and you need to take a call when you need to say no. You must say no, and that's why I know many of you feel irritated when you see a celebrity walking and they refuse to take a selfie with you. You think, what is there? After all, a selfie they can't. You don't understand. The minute they stop with you for a selfie, there will be a big queue standing. And they cannot say yes to somebody and no to everybody else. Isn't it? Therefore, you need to say no, and you need to understand that it is also right to say no at some point of time. Digital dieting, We already saw both sides. So don't focus too much on your screen, because that I fully agree, a 3-second looking at the mobile and then you don't even realize why you went to it in the first time. So I think it is always good, especially before the exams, you just turn off the data and keep it available only for calls, because you need to be available for calls, but at the same time you don't have to look at the way. Those things can wait. The same reels will come up in different forms sometime else. I appreciate, I saw the Viscom student who was standing there taking reels of your student presentation. Today it will come, you all will put like, and then your college will get more admissions, more views, all that is fine. But doesn't mean that you have to say, hey, what happened here, this, that, and then you keep going on to some other reel. That is not correct. So the digital detox or the digital dieting, very important. And don't multitask. You know what I really don't like among students doing these days? When they are driving, especially two-wheelers, either the pillion rider gives the phone to the ear of the driver, or the driver himself keeps like this and then rides. You are putting your entire life at risk. And don't you think your life is more precious than that message which can wait for the next 15-20 minutes? So that is a way of multitasking which you don't have to do. Or when you are doing something else, you study. You talk to your friend and you study. Don't do all that. One thing at a time. Those who have travelled, especially to the Western countries, you will know, they will not do a single thing combining it with something else. If they are doing one thing, they will do that and only that. And if they don't know, they will say, I don't know. I am not able to understand what you are saying. They don't feel ashamed in saying that, because to them, one thing at a time, and that one thing you can do correctly, that one thing you can do well. So never try to multitask. I think that again is something which I really don't relish being in the youth of today. I am sure with all your competencies you can do much better if you don't try to multitask. So a leader should learn to delegate. This also I will explain to you when I talk about time management, where you actually have to do the delegation. Why is this not going? Why is it not moving? So this is what I wanted to tell you. Eisenhower matrix. How many of you heard of Eisenhower? School days? US President? Yes? No? Okay. Second World War? Second World War? You've heard about it, right? So he was a general at that time, Dwight Eisenhower, and then he went on to become the President of the United States. And he was a very good general. So we hear of this Eisenhower matrix, the name has been given, and if you had read Stephen Covey's 7 habits of highly effective people, you would have come across this, okay? But I will make it very simple, even if you don't know Eisenhower. It was he who spoke about prioritization and time management, which is very important for a leader. This is what I told you I will be explaining. So here if you look at this as a graph with 2 axes, the x and y axis, and then you have on this axis what is not urgent, not important. Okay, in the first quadrant, what is there in the first quadrant? It is neither urgent nor important. Both ways it's a low. Both on the x and y axis it's the lowest quadrant. What should we do with such thing, especially when you're a leader? Those tasks are not urgent, not important. What should you do? Delete. Don't even do it. They're not important, they're not urgent also. Don't even do it, just delete. Moving on to the next quadrant there, they are not urgent, but they are important. Activities that are not urgent, but they are important. So what should you do with that? You can wait and perform them later because they are not urgent, but you have to deal with them as a leader. So you have to decide on that to do it later. So the first quadrant was delete, The next quadrant is decide. Go here. This is urgent but not important. Urgent but not important. So, what can a leader do with something which is urgent but not important? The leader should delegate. Did we come across delegate in one of the previous slides? And I told you I will explain. So, this is delegate. And what is a leader doing by delegating? Is he or she giving up whatever they know? Not at all. By delegating, the leader is developing other leaders. That is why it is said a good leader has followers, but a great leader develops other leaders as well. And that is important for your succession planning. So, you should delegate tasks which are urgent but not important. Somebody else can do it and bring it to you. You just have to see it and say it's fine. And then we come to that quadrant which has urgent and important. If it is urgent and important, what should you do? Do it yourself. Do it immediately, because it is urgent and because it is important, it requires your attention. So, the leader should focus on that. So, what should a leader, an academic administrator, a principal or any corporate leader, what should they do? For the week or if possible for the day, prioritize your tasks. First make a list, only then you will know what is priority, isn't it? Write down all the things you have to do this week, list it out, evaluate and then decide what you have to do. If you do this at the beginning of every week maybe, then you will find it very easy. Now you have your exams coming up, 5 papers you all write. So, these are the 5 papers, these are the topics, make a list, what is important. So, therefore, what you will read, there you remember, eat the frog. What you don't like, finish off first and then you read. You can just revise on the previous evening what you need to do. So, as a student, that is what you need to do. As an employee or as a manager who comes up later, you will list, evaluate and then start taking action on that. Oh God. So, when you delegate, I said it results in succession planning, but people are inspired. So, Dr. Selvi, Bhuma madam has given me the responsibility of this conference, identifying speakers, putting it together, the sessions and everything. Won't she feel inspired, motivated? Next time such a conference happens, maybe in the Department of Accounting and Finance, she will tell that HOD, see last time ma'am gave me so much of responsibility. So, whatever you want, I will be able to help you with that. That is how you are spreading the word and that is how you are sharing responsibility. And as sir correctly pointed out, you are also assuming responsibility. Don't think, after all their department, I did a good job, let me not look at their department. That shouldn't be the attitude. You should try and help them. And that happened because the principal allowed her to be part of the core team. And never get stressed. That's what sir also said. I am happy here. You know what nickname my teachers gave me? They called me Captain Cool, because I never used to get stressed. Either the job gets done or it doesn't. So, what is the point in getting stressed about it? When we went in for NAC, when we went in for the 4th cycle and everybody said Arts and Science College, you cannot get A++. That is their opinion. Again, I followed what he said even without watching his presentation. Eliminate negative thoughts. I am not going to listen to those people. I am the principal of the college. I have already got A++ twice. 3rd time I want to do it in the 4th cycle, which is supposed to be a very difficult cycle. I had made up my mind that I want to do it. So, why should I listen to negative thoughts? I did not listen to them. But I wanted to take my team along with me. I wanted them to believe that they could do it. Otherwise, I cannot do anything on my own. So, I spoke to them and I said, we have done good work for the last 5 years. This is a report card which is coming. We are not going to do anything new now. We are just going to present it well. So, let us believe in ourselves. What should we do? Believe in ourselves and we will put our best foot forward. That was COVID and year after COVID. So, we couldn't do many of the activities either, but we had the good wishes of people. When we wanted to do a presentation on SDGs, we approached Mr. Tirumurti online he he adjudged the entries and gave away the prizes to our students. We didn't stop with conducting activities. We did everything. Whatever was possible online, we did online. What they could come and do on those days where they were allowed to come to college, we did it that way. So we didn't give up. The students cooperated because they wanted to be part of an A++ college. The teachers came round because they wanted to. They cannot go back and tell the older teachers, see, you all did it, we didn't do. They wanted to say, we'll do better than you. That's how it should be, isn't it? So they also worked hard. So keeping the negative thoughts at bay, we worked. Every Sunday we used to have online meetings with outside experts, show our work and get ourselves evaluated. And every weekday we used to improve on the suggestions that they had given. Either we used to come in batches in college because college was not fully functioning, or we used to sit at home and do it, those teachers who are not coming, but we did it. And then when COVID restrictions were withdrawn and the NAC peer team was allowed to visit, we decided we have done the hard work. We have shown the people what we are capable of doing. When they visit, we will do it even better. So when they came, everyone was involved in it and they put their best foot forward, and I am very proud to say that even in the 4th cycle, which was difficult, we managed to get A++. So we did better than Stella Maris and Ethiraj, which got an A+, Loyola and DGV, which got an A++ with a lower CGPA. So it also matters, isn't it? So that is why, as the principal of the college at that time, I am very grateful to my teachers and students who made it possible. So tomorrow, if your institution should do better, it is in your hands. You are the nerve center, and if the students think of doing something, they can definitely do it. You have a wonderful team of teachers around you, and you have a principal who thinks far ahead, and that will help you do better. So that is what it should happen. Inspire the team, don't get stressed. That's what I did. And then the team will shine. When the team shines, give them the credit. So wherever I go, definitely I will say that I was the principal at that time, but I also give the full credit to the team of students and teachers who made it possible for MOP to reach that height. So develop a strategic plan which will definitely say what, who, when, why you are supposed to do everything, and clear communication. That is also very important. Oh God. Yeah. At all levels, there should be leadership positions, students, teachers, everywhere. Give them their responsibility and don't go stand behind them. Did you do this? Did you do this? No. If I said Yashini will do something, what's your name? Raghavi. If Raghavi will do something, she will do the comparing, I give her the responsibility. Ask one teacher to rehearse with her once and then forget about it. You can't have somebody always breathing down the neck saying you do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, then they won't do. Okay? And their role is clearly defined, that's what matters. Succession planning, very important. I am stealing a little light from Sudha, but because I have already taken this example in my mind, I am not able to change it in the last minute. You see the Australian cricket team. Some of you follow cricket. All of you follow? Okay. So, you have heard about Steve Waugh? Some time back he was there. So, when Steve Waugh was the captain, Ponting was groomed. When Ponting was the captain, Michael Clarke was groomed. Okay, and so it goes. Pat Cummins was groomed. So that's how it goes down the line. So that is succession planning. But now I have something unpleasant to say. CSK, we all love Dhoni. I also like him a lot. I have a picture with him too. But what did we think? Dhoni only must come. Even if he comes in the last minute, hit one sixer and go, Dhoni only must come. Dhoni only one. What happened? That space was not given to anybody else at all. Isn't it? The number 7 or number 8, that space was not given to anybody. And Ruturaj Gaikwad made the captain. Dhoni is still a player in the team. How will he feel? How will he take important decisions? You can't do that. Let me tell you, you can't do that. Therefore, what happened last 2-3 years? What happened to CSK? Nothing. You allow the other team to hit 250 runs. What's your bowling? You can't do anything. So, when you want to make a team successful, respect Dhoni. Give him a lot. He's done a lot. No taking away. So many ICC trophies, no captain could have dreamt of, and he is the first captain. Cool. They just gave me to make me feel happy, that's all. So, what should you do? Succession planning. Think who will come next. Yes, Dhoni, thank you. You have won 5 trophies for CSK in the IPL. Suggest who should be the next captain, what should be the next team. That's how it should be. I know I'll become unpopular with all of you if I say just drop Dhoni and take somebody else. But what is the ultimate aim of a franchisee? Make the team win. That is more important than glorifying somebody. We told Sachin Tendulkar to go. We told Sunil Gavaskar to go, isn't it? We stopped Sudha Shah from playing as well. She can't be saying she's Sudha Shah, she'll be playing all the time. She can't do that. So therefore, succession planning very important. Already, Madam will be thinking of heads of departments who will do their best later on. She can't sit through all the conferences planning. She will do 2 or 3 conferences and then allow the others to start planning. Then only she can focus on other things. Tomorrow your college should become a university. That's how it should go on. She will start visioning higher things and leave the usual things to be done by the other teachers. That is succession planning. So as a leader, you can live today, but you have to plan for tomorrow, and very, very many years ahead is what you're supposed to think. You have to lead by example. What you should not do is this goat story. Maybe some of you have heard it, but I'm going to tell you. Once in a college like yours, a person let in 3 goats, okay? Around their necks he tied the numbers 1 on one goat, 2 on the second goat, and 4 on the third goat. 1, 2 and 4. The next morning when the watchman opened the door, he saw there was all this, goat shit everywhere. So they knew there were goats inside. So when the students started coming, they started looking for the goats as well, and then they found. Not very difficult, no, you can't hide too much in a college. They came, what did they find? Goat number 1, goat number 2, goat number 4. Did they stop with that? No. They all were so bent on looking for goat number 3. They searched that day. Then the principal called for a meeting, and then she said, no, we have to find out, otherwise this goat shit cleaning will be, every day it will be there. They tied away these 3 goats and they were searching for that goat. Second day, couldn't find. One more day, I'm giving you ultimatum, like Trump gives 48 hours, open the Strait of Hormuz. One more, 24 hours, find that goat with number 3. They didn't find. And the strait also he didn't open. So what happens? What are we doing? Is there a goat number 3? No. But most of our time, we look for that elusive thing which is not there. Don't waste your time on that. If it is not there, it is not there. That's all. You search, not found, leave it. Don't go and search for something which is not there. Instead, focus on what you need to do in life. That's what you should do, isn't it? Whenever you come across a situation in your life, not searching goats, when you come across a situation in your life where you need something, you go behind that. But if that is elusive, leave it off. You find what is required and pursue that. That is the story of the goat. Don't be a leader who looks for things which are not there. Neither you nor your team can progress because of that. So before the 3 Ds which you should remember are the drive, the passion should be there within you, the determination to succeed. Come what may, I will do it. That is very important. And the last D was the discipline. Without being disciplined, you definitely cannot succeed. You should be disciplined. Now, we have heard about concepts of leadership. We have heard a lot about them. So, you need to rethink sometimes. See, the same principles which were there Principles and value systems are there for a long time, but they need to be amended from time to time. That's why sir also said you need to be adaptable. So when you need to do that, you need to rethink your leadership. Don't I have this style, I'll do this only. You have to be adaptable. What should you do? Your focus on now, see when I was a student, we didn't have anything called EQ, only IQ, that's all. So now you have EQ, focus on that as well and get people, others involved in decision making. You know, your father's time, grandfather's time and all, what they say you have to do. You can't give an opinion, isn't it? Now, what we say they do, that is different. So, it should be that you take the collective opinion of everybody. That's what I am trying to say. Make sure the team understands. So, all of you should understand why we are doing this and then do it. That is fine. Instead of saying children should not know anything, go just do what mommy and daddy say, that won't work anymore. So, keeping an eye on the future, you need to be an adaptable leader, so you rethink leadership. I don't know. And another thing is the empathetic leadership. You also need to understand the people, isn't it? So, without understanding, see, the principal may expect something of a teacher. On that particular day, the teacher is totally off mood. The principal keeps lecturing to her, she cannot understand. Beyond a point, she should stop and say, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and let her go. Because you are not a teacher who behaves like this on all counts. Today seems to be your off day, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Same for teacher with students. One class is misbehaving, so she'll say, okay, today we won't have class, let's have some fun. Tell me what we can do today. Bring them back into the fold before you start your lecture again. They are also not listening. You want to finish the portion. Okay, I have only so much of time, I have to finish. That won't work. Unless the students are receptive, nothing will go in. What is the point? You keep talking, they keep doing what they like. So, even a teacher, when she lectures to the students, think, be empathetic to them. Put you in their shoes and find out what is actually happening, and only then take class. One class if you don't take, nothing will happen. Yeah, then I have something interesting coming up for you. Yeah. I'm going to talk to you about situational leadership. This is a question for you. You got to tell me. In the first picture, you see a hen and the chicks are all in front. So, the leader is behind and all the followers are in front and they are going. In the second one, the duck is leading. It's a duck only, right? Yeah, all the other ducklings are behind. Which of the two is the good leader? How many of you say picture number 1? Raise your hands. How many of you say picture number 2? Because many of them already raised, you don't want to raise now. Picture number 2. Okay. Actually, the first leader is one who gives a lot of power, empowerment to the chicks in front. Gives a lot of liberty. Okay, you go. If something goes wrong, I will come and help. You go. That's the style adopted. The second one, they don't know what's happening. Gas available? We don't know. Anything else, petrol, diesel, tomorrow you will get or not? You don't know. So, that time the leader says, wait, I will go and see. You all come behind me. So, can we say that only that leader is right or this leader is right? No. Neither of the leaders is the right answer. Based on the situation, you can either be a hen which is going behind empowering the team, or you can be a duck and lead the team. Depends on what is that day's situation, what is that problem. So, you cannot have, I remember one of the questions you asked somebody there at the back. You asked the team which presented on corporate leadership, which is the right style of leadership. There is no right style. This depends on the situation which is the right style of leadership. If it is going to be where they can go and you can, giving them a chance, you can do it that way. But if you feel it is dangerous, you need to go and take a call first and then they need to follow, you do that. So, situational leadership is for the leader to decide what style to adopt. And that is how a leader should behave, not have anything which is very rigid. And what do we think? Some leaders I have also found and come across, they hold them so tight. They say you can't cross this line. And that's how it is going to be. You toe the line or you can't be with my team. So what happens? Only your hand hurts. You hold something very tight and see, it is not their hand which is going to hurt, your hand. But you just give them a little more leeway, allow them to, if they go the wrong way, they're going to come back to you and ask you for advice. So let go. After a certain point of time, what should the leader also do? Not hold to all the power in the own hands. Let go, allow them to experience what leadership is, what the hardships are, what the difficulties you face. You would have seen the movie, no, Mudalvan. Oru naal Chief Minister ukandada theriyum what happens at that point of time. Otherwise you won't know. Only if you put your hand in the fire, you'll know that it burns you. So the finger will get burnt. So don't hold on to anything. You're not going to be able to. Even water, you try taking in your hand and holding, would you be able to hold water in your hand? No. The more tight you press, more water will go out. So never try to hold on. Allow them the freedom. And when you allow your team the freedom, you will find that lesser damage is done. So I am not giving you anything that is mine as such, but I was recently reading about Swami Vivekananda. So one of his maxims actually impacted me a lot. So I will leave you with that. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So have something in your mind and you keep moving towards that. That's all. That should be your determination. Like I said, the drive, the determination and the discipline to succeed. That should be your mantra.
Hari Om. A team may have the most talented players, but without even a right leader, even the strongest team can fail. Good morning, dignitaries, faculty members, and dear friends. I am Anil Chaudhary, and on behalf of my team, I am pleased to present our study on leadership qualities in sports. Before I begin, I would like to introduce my team members, Mr. Hari Prasad, Ms. Suryashree, and Ms. Reshma, who will take you through different parts of the presentation. We all are from BCom Corporate Secretariat final year. Today, leadership is an essential quality in every field, whether it's academics, sports, business, or any other streams, where leaders inspire us by taking smart decisions and handling pressure during challenging situations. Now let us begin by understanding what this leadership really means and why it is essential. Over to Ms. Suryashree.
Sports leadership is not just about winning matches. It is about inspiring team, managing pressure and creating unity. Through this study, we aim to understand the qualities of an effective sports leader. These leadership qualities not only for sports individuals, also for students for shaping their future careers.
In this study, our main objective is to understand what truly makes a sports leader effective and influential. We aim to identify the key leadership traits in sports such as communication skill, confidence, responsibility, and the ability to motivate the teammates. The study aims to understand the respondents' perception of how leadership quality can influence the team performance and decision making under pressure in sports. In sports, leaders often face challenging situations where quick thinking and right decision can significantly affect the success of the entire team.
We used descriptive survey method to collect data. A structured questionnaire was distributed among 50 respondents using random sampling method for the age group of 18 to 60-year-old. The purpose of the questionnaire is to gather opinion from different individuals regarding leadership qualities in sports. All the responses are measured using 5-point Likert scale, where respondents could express their level of agreement or disagreement. After receiving all the response, data are analyzed through mean score method to identify the overall perception of the respondents.
Here, I am explaining the overall result of our study. The overall mean score of our study is 3.89 out of 5. This means the respondents have a positive opinion about sports leadership qualities. Since the score is close to 4, the respondents have agreed with the statement given. The highest mean score was for learning from mistakes and ethical behavior. This means the respondents have strongly believed that a leader should learn from their failures and should maintain ethical values. Another important point is all 15 leadership traits scored above 3.70. This means there is a consistent agreement and there was low negative perception. So, we can understand a leader is seen as ethical, strategic, and team oriented.
Based on the analysis, ethical behavior and learning from mistakes both have a mean score of 4, with 45 respondents strongly agreeing or agreeing, representing 90%. Staying calm under pressure, which has a mean score of 3.86, with 44 respondents, which is 88%. Handling situations effectively, effective communication, and motivation, which has a mean score of 3.92, with 43 respondents, which is 86% of agreement. Approximately 5 to 7 respondents will fall under the disagree category. Overall, the mean score are close to 4, which indicates an high level of agreement among the respondents.
The majority of respondents agreed that effective leaders are ethical, emotionally stable, and effective communicators. Leadership has pursued on focusing team success rather than personal appreciation.
All these leadership lessons are not only limited to sports. Students can apply those skills in their academics, project, internship, or future career. Qualities such as staying calm under pressure, discipline, motivating, teamwork are very essential in many situations. By observing sports leaders, we can learn how to be responsible, work effective with others, and develop their decision-making ability. Leadership quality can be developed through practice and awareness.
To conclude, sports leadership is the powerful example of how vision, discipline, and emotional strength lead to success. These lessons learned from sports can guide students in becoming future leaders in corporate, academic, and social environment. Thank you, everyone.
May I now request Mr. AVMK Shanmugam, Mr. T.S. Tirumurti, and Dr. N. Bhuma to kindly present a token of appreciation to Ms. Sudha Shah in recognition of her remarkable achievements and inspiring contribution to sports.
Hari Om. I thank my management and my principal for giving me this opportunity. Leadership is discussed from classes, and today we have with us, we experience leadership through lifetime journey, Ms. Sudha Shah. We are very pleased, happy, and honorable to have you with us here, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much. Ma'am, let me ask you a few questions about your journey from the beginning. You've been as a leader, captain, from beginning past 1976 to 1991, almost 15 years plus. And when did you first realize you weren't just a player, you also were a leader? When did you first realize that moment when you came into cricket?
Hari Om. Actually, after all the distinguished speakers, Abhishek Sharma had played, and then Lalitha ma'am. For me, I think it's just like highlights of the next day. Like they played test and ODIs and me it's T20. I was thrust upon captaincy actually. I must have been 14 when I captained Tamil Nadu. And there was nothing really to fall back on. You know, I don't know, you all must not have heard of Mr. Kripal Singh, A.G. Kripal Singh. He was a good family friend of ours, so I had to learn field placings, everything right from the scratch because I didn't know anything. Every evenings I would sit with him, and he used to tell me, like, for an off spinner, this field, for a leg spinner, this field. I actually had bits of it in the first few games that I played. I had it in my pocket. So when I called a medium pacer, I'll take out the bit and say, okay, you go here, you go there. I mean, that's how I learned, because there was nothing really to fall back on. And then after a few matches, I slowly did away with the bits. It was very difficult because I was, like I said, 14, and there were just one or two players who were younger than me. The others were all older than me, and I was like, how do I get them to sort of listen to somebody who's so young? And I had to find, ways to... I think I was a little bit strict because I thought, okay, if I'm strict, they'll sort of listen and they'll do what I want them to do. But that sort of, I mellowed down as the years went by. But it was really difficult at the beginning. You sort of handle players from different walks of life, different level of thinking. And everybody is like, okay, you're nervous when you're batting, or my heart used to go duck, duck, duck at times, but then I would pretend like, oh, there's nothing wrong. And I had to show outwardly that I'm very brave and, I don't get hassled or not tense, but inside I was going duck, duck, duck. And I think that happened right till I played my last game, till I went onto the field. That little nervousness is always there. But I used to try and sort of diffuse the situation on the ground. Like, those days before a match, there used to be a chief guest. And the team had to be introduced to the chief guest before the team went in. And none of us really, the chief guest none of us were very famous at that time. We were one or two a few who had played for Tamil Nadu from Tamil Nadu. And, played for India from Tamil Nadu. So what I used to do was, when we had these introductions, I used to make up names. And once I introduced the whole team with typical Tamil names like, Vetris Kodi and this thing. And I would keep a very straight face, but these girls would be sort of laughing. And looking back, I think it sort of, their tension went. And when we entered the field, everybody is in a very good mood, and we were very relaxed. And those few things, what I used to do, I guess, like, okay, I was house captain when I was in school. And one of the players used to say that when Sudha is around, we don't have any tension, we feel free, and we'll give our best. I feel those few things, like, they were there in my mind that sort of just pushed me forward, and I just took up the responsibility.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as a captain, what do you believe in the main difference between being a good player and being a good leader?
I generally feel there's one leader in the team. As ma'am said, like about Dhoni, I disagree over there, because I think today the crowd is just crazy after Dhoni. Personally, I feel he must have wanted to stop playing at least 3-4 years back, but then either the franchise and the crowd, they want him to continue. I guess it's just to get the crowd to watch the games. There's one leader, and I know when there are other leaders, it is a little difficult, because I have captained, like say if I've played for South Zone or for India, I have captained, and there are other captains around. But I guess at that time, you're working for the team, and you want the team to do well. So I don't think it really matters if there are 3-4 captains, or like ma'am said, Dhoni is on the field, so Ruturaj finds it difficult. With Dhoni, I think he's like one in a generation. And whoever it is, even if, I think Virat even found it a little difficult because we started sort of measuring captaincy with Dhoni or with the game with Dhoni. And so the others to follow did find it difficult. Now it's getting better because, there has been a big gap now. And it does make a difference when you have a very good leader. And about team, I feel I'd give somebody who may be talented 50% but gives her 90%, or somebody who's between that player and a player who's, say, 90% talent and gives 50%. I think I'd prefer a player who gives 100%. That makes a big difference.
Ma'am, how did you motivate your team members during maybe difficult situations in matches or after losses? What was your words of motivation?
I mean, as a leader, I think you should be really one amongst the others. And I used to get suggestions from everybody. Finally, yes, it was my decision. But then it was like, you come across different types in the team. There were some players who, if you shout at them in front of everybody, they take it as, like their pride and they perform well. While some players, you need to talk to them separately, or you should be soft. I think these things I learned through experience. At the beginning, I used to just say whatever, but then that makes a big difference. And then when you're one amongst themselves and you treat them like how they'd like to be treated and still get the best out of them, I think that's very important.
Ma'am, what was the most challenging aspect of transforming from leading by example on the pitch to leading through instruction as a coach, ma'am?
I stopped playing in 97. Like till 91, I played for India, and I played for Tamil Nadu and South Zone till 97. And I took a year off because, all my life I'd only played cricket, and I had to sort of stay away from the game. So I took a year off from the game totally. I didn't even go to the ground, nothing. And then I took up to coaching. And I was coaching the Indian team at a camp, and I was umpiring. And when the bowler bowled, the batter got wrapped on his pad and I appealed. And then it struck me that I'm no longer a player. I have to be on the other side of the thing. It did take me a while, but then after that, I sort of got used to it.
Ma'am, in early days, resources were limited compared to today in modern cricket. How did you keep team morale and a winning mindset despite the infrastructure not always meeting your goals?
Those days, we didn't ever dream that the game would reach to these heights. We'd be very happy with whatever we had. We used to travel by, I think everybody those days talk about it, you travel unreserved. And you stay in school. We've stayed in classrooms. We've stayed in dormitories. But at that time we thought, that was cricket and that was what you have to go through. And we never really felt that it was a hindrance or anything like that. In fact, looking back, I think that really fostered team spirit. Like, you're all living together in a dormitory, or, we used to stay in rooms, 10 by 10, and 16 of us used to sleep in that room. And we never thought, it was fun. And you travel by train, we'd be singing or making fun, and we traveled right from, say, Madras to Jammu. We never felt the journey being so cumbersome. We just took it in our stride. And now, thinking of the facilities that these girls get, hats off. I'm happy, no regrets for what I've gone through that time, but I'm very happy to see what the girls are going through today.
Ma'am, you have played around 21 consecutive test matches for more than 15 years. What enabled you to remain physically fit and mentally strong for so many years in the game?
those days there was nothing about fitness or mental fitness or physical fitness. It's only, I think, the modern cricket, maybe after the limited over games and the 50 and the T20 came, that fitness was part of our regime. We used to just run 1 or 2 rounds round, roll arm over, and bowling and batting was fitness for us. So, I mean, I could just keep bowling. I started off as a batter, and then what happens is at nets you play for those 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then after that you're just standing doing nothing, and that's when I started taking up bowling. And soon after I finished my batting, I'd start bowling. So it was just game fitness that we worked on. All this gymming and weightlifting and all came much later. So that time it was just game fitness.
Communication is one of the most important leadership qualities. How important was communication in maintaining team unity during the match?
Yeah, you come across difficult situations. I mean, when the team wins, everybody is happy. But then when the team loses, that's when you have to sort of, encourage the players. I generally never used to say much after the game when we lost. Because, I mean, nobody really loses for the sake thing. I mean, everybody gives in their 100%. And you do lose matches, you do win matches, you learn from both. And I feel when they lose, they need your support more than, when they win. And that's when you have to really, I mean, yeah, I do tell them off. I used to tell them off a little, but then it used to be more of the positives and then 1 or 2 negatives.
Can you give us some example, like based on this incident or something?
It was so long back. Sorry. It was like, I don't know, I mean, there was a time when we needed 2 runs to win, and we lost the game. And the player she got run. Actually, one batter took 2 runs. She would have taken 2 runs, but the other batter came halfway and went back. So this one completed 2 runs, which we could have finished that and thing. That day, I didn't tell her anything, and she was very low. But then the next day, I called and I spoke to her and thing. And then the next match, she was so much stronger. You need to sort of encourage. Everybody makes mistakes, but then I think we learn from our mistakes, and me pointing out that, oh, you've made a mistake and that's why we lost, will make it worse for her. You sort of try and, get her out of that situation, try and say something else and talk about her bowling or something like that, and that's what you have to do, really.
One final question. Many students have aspired to become leaders in sports. What 3 leadership qualities should young people start developing from today onwards?
I think commitment is one. And I think for a team game, team comes first and then the individual. And your way of communicating. Actually, as I said, I mean, the 2 distinguished speakers spoke all about leadership, which works both in the corporate, the educational field, and the sports field. And for me, it's like I'm repeating what they've said. But in every walk of life, like even as a leader, like I was captain for so many years, it has taught me a lot. And I mean, I don't think, I may have been a different person if I hadn't played cricket, if I hadn't captained. You sort of, tend to empathize, and you learn a lot from the other team. And it's like it's a continuous learning. It's just because today you're a leader, it doesn't mean that, okay, you've reached the top. You have to keep learning, and you have to sort of, things change. So you have to keep changing and, adapting like that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Hari Om, and a good afternoon to our respected secretary, distinguished dignitaries, prominent principal, faculty members, and dear students. As we come to the close of the Leadership Conclave 26, we reflect on the day that has truly been enriching and transformative. Today's conclave has gone beyond discussion. It has sparked ideas, inspired thoughts, and reinforced the true essence of leadership across diverse fields. Each session has reminded us that leadership is not confined to titles, but defined by vision, resilience, and the courage to make a difference. I'm sure all of us leave this all with renewed inspiration and a strong sense of purpose. With these reflections, I now move on to express our heartfelt gratitude. At the outset, I extend my deepest gratitude to our convener, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurti, whose visionary leadership and guidance have been the foundation of this conclave. Sir, your emphasis on global perspective, purposeful leadership, and informed decision making has truly set the directions for today's meaningful engagement. I would like to express our sincere thanks to Mr. Gopal Mahadevan for his insightful session on corporate leadership. Sir, your thoughts on gratitude, positive attitude, adaptability, strategic thinking, and leading with integrity in a constantly evolving business environment have greatly resonated with all of us. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Lalitha Balakrishnan for her inspiring address on educational leadership. Ma'am, your emphasis on values, the role of educator in shaping the society, complete the task which you don't like and do the task which you like at the last, inspired us and say no to the things which you really don't want to do it, and one thing at a time inspired us. We are equally grateful to Mrs. Sudha Shah for her motivating session on leadership in sports. Ma'am, your words on perseverance, teamwork, responsibility, and the spirit to overcome challenges have truly inspired our students. I extend my sincere thanks to our respected secretary for his constant support and encouragement towards all our academic initiatives. I express my deep gratitude to our respected principal for her visionary leadership and for continuously providing platforms that empower and inspire our students. I would also like to place on record our appreciation to the organizing committee for their dedicated effort, meticulous planning, and seamless execution of this conclave. A special note of thanks to the Department of Visual Communication for their excellent technical support, which ensured the smooth and effective conduct of all sessions. My sincere thanks to our non-teaching staff for their valuable support behind the scenes. And finally, to our dear students, thank you for your enthusiastic participation, your curiosity, and your vibrant energy. You are the true purpose and success of this conclave. As we conclude, let us carry forward the insights we have gained today and translate them into the meaningful action. Because of leadership is not just about learning, it is about living those values every day. With gratitude and pride, we bring the Leadership Conclave 26 to a close. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you all for being a part of this enriching experience. May I kindly request everyone to raise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय जय